So this was the equation for this circuit, LC circuit. And how did we disturb this circuit? We induced some charge on the capacitor to disturb the circuit from its mean position. And I is equal to minus dq by dt, that means charge is decreasing as the current increases. Let us divide this equation by L and put this value. We have got this equation, d2q upon dt square plus 1 by LC is equal to q. Now if we put this in a resonance condition, so in resonance condition we know omega is equal to 1 by under root LC, CL or LC. So if we put the value of omega 0, so this 1 by LC will become omega square. So this is square of this. So this becomes omega square. So our equation will be d2q dt square plus omega 0 square q is equal to 0. When we compare this equation with this equation, d2x upon dt square plus omega 0x is equal to 0, which is an equation for simple harmonic oscillator. So what we get? We get omega 0 is equal to 1 upon under root LC, as we have got already. The charge on the capacitor therefore oscillates with the natural frequency. So what we have seen? The charge on the capacitors oscillates with the natural frequency omega 0, and omega 0 we have previously calculated, this is 1 by under root LC, and we have compared with this equation of simple harmonic motion. So charge or current is doing the simple harmonic oscillation. Now let us see what is the equation. So this varies sinusoidally with time. This charge on capacitor is varied sinusoidally. So Q is equal to Qm cos omega 0 t plus phi. So we have to calculate these things. So Qm is the maximum value of Q. So that can be maximum. Initially we got at t is equal to 0, Q is equal to Qm. That means there was maximum charge was on this capacitor. And this phi is a phase constant. Since Q is equal to Qm, that means t is equal to 0. Initially Q was Q maximum. At that time cos phi was 1 or phi was 0. Initially phi was 0. There was no phase between current and voltage initially, because for having Q is equal to Qm, this whole term must be 0. So we have assumed that at that time this phase angle was 0. So let us see how it was 0. Q is equal to Qm. Since t was already 0, this term goes to 0, and we have Qm cos phi. And for Q is equal to Qm, this cos phi must be equal to 1. That means phi must be equal to 0. In case of initial conditions, this phi must be 0 for initial conditions. Therefore, in present case, so what we get? So this phi was 0 initially. So now we know the phase angle. So let us put phi is equal to 0 in this equation. What we get? Q is equal to Qm cos omega 0 t. So this is our equation, because we have got phi equal to 0. Let us differentiate. What is current? Current is minus dq by dt. So let us differentiate this equation. So what we get if we differentiate with respect to t? So I is equal to minus d by dt. So this Qm will come out of differential. There is a minus sign. And this cos omega 0 t, the differential will be sine omega 0 t and a minus with this sign, because differential of cos is minus sign, so this becomes plus, and this omega 0 will also come out. So Qm omega 0 sine omega 0 t. So we are writing this Qm omega 0 to be Im, maximum current. So I is equal to Im sine omega 0 t, where Im is equal to Qm omega 0 or omega 0 Qm. So this is our value of Im, and this is our equation for Im. Im is equal to Im sine omega 0 t. So why do we have taken this cos term? Because initially at t is equal to 0, this charge was maximum. Only cos function is such that when we put cos 0, this gets maximum. That's why we have taken cos function, not the sine function. Both are sinusoidal function. Both will show simple harmonic motion, but we have taken cos function because in initial condition charge was maximum, and if we taken sine function, this charge will be 0. So that's why we have not taken cos function. Here we got sine function because initially current was 0. If we put t is equal to 0, initially current was 0, which was true for the circuit. Initially current was 0. Later we got current I and charge was reduced. So we got value of both phi and Im. Now let us try to visualize these oscillations. So how does this oscillation is taking in this circuit? So first of all, let us see this figure. So let me remove this. So we have this figure. So this figure shows a capacitor with initial charge Qm, that means maximum charge, and connected to an ideal inductor. So this is ideal inductor, that means this has some value of L, but resistance of this inductor is perfectly 0. So this is, we are assuming that this is an ideal inductor. The electrical energy is stored in a charged capacitor. So what is the electrical energy stored in charged capacitor is UE is equal to half Qm square by C. This we are referring from chapter 2. We have already calculated what is the potential energy in capacitor, half CV square. So let us put the value of V from this equation. Q is equal to CV. So from this let us put the value of V. So V is equal to Q by C. So what we get when we put into this equation, so half CV is square, so V is Q by C. So half C, this Q by C square. So Qm, initially charge was maximum, so Qm by C square. So 1 C goes out. So what we get, half Qm square by C. So half Qm square by C. So this is the electrical energy stored in the capacitor when it is charged up to a value Qm. So when we charge the capacitor up to a value Qm, there is an electrical energy stored. That electrical energy is half Qm square by C. Since there is no current, energy in the inductor initially is 0. Initially this energy is 0. So let us try to understand this figure. So we have this figure in 5 parts. We have this figure in 5 parts. Initially we have a capacitor, we have an inductor. Initially this circuit is open and we are charging this capacitor up to a maximum value Qm. So we have charged this capacitor up to a value Qm, and electrical energy stored in this capacitor is half Qm square by C. And this energy is the total energy in the circuit, because right now there is no current or there is no magnetic field in this inductor. So we have two types of energy, electrical energy in the capacitor, magnetic energy in the inductor. So this magnetic energy initially was 0 because the current has not started flowing, and electrical energy stored in this capacitor was Qm square by 2C. So we have electrical energy, not the magnetic energy. Now let us go back to this mechanical oscillator, simple harmonic oscillator, but in terms of mechanical oscillations. So we have a spring. So with this we have shown the mean position. There is a mass attached to this spring and we have disturbed this oscillator from its mean position. Similarly, here how do we have disturbed? We have disturbed this by adding some charge on the capacitor. Here we have added some charge. Here we have just pulled it out from its mean position. Now in this case what we have potential energy half Ka square while kinetic energy is 0. So we are drawing parallels between these two conditions. So we are comparing these two conditions. So we are comparing mechanical vibrations of simple harmonic oscillator to simple harmonic oscillations or electrical oscillations found in an LC circuit. Here we have electrical energy is equal to Qm square by 2C. Here we have half Ka square. This is potential energy. Here we have magnetic energy equal to 0 initially. Here initially we have kinetic energy equal to 0. So we are comparing this LC circuit with a mechanical oscillator in terms of energy and in terms of working.